Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm Mitchell Coleman. Happy Thursday. I have your daily Stoic meditation, 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. Today is April 8th, 2021. This one is titled, The Cost of Accepting Counterfeits. When it comes to money, where we feel our clear interest, we have an entire art where the tester uses many means to discover the worth. Just as we give great attention to judging things that might steer us badly, but when it comes to our own ruling principle, we yawn and doze off, accepting any appearance that flashes by without counting the cost. That comes from Epictetus Discourses. And it continues, when coins were much more rudimentary, people had to spend a lot of time testing them to confirm the currency they had just received was genuine. The Greek word dokimazin, if I'm pronouncing that right, means to assay or check the quality of a mineral ore. Merchants were often skilled enough that they could test coinage by throwing it against a hard surface and listen to the note it rang. Even today, though, if someone were to hand you a $100 bill, you might rub it between your fingers or hold it up to the light, just to confirm it wasn't a fake. All this for an imaginary currency, an invention of society. The point of this metaphor is to highlight how much effort we put into making sure money is real, whereas we accept potentially life-changing thoughts or assumptions without so much as a question. One ironic assumption along these lines, that having a lot of money makes you wealthy, or that because a lot of people believe something, it must be true. Really, we should be testing these notions as vigilantly as a money changer. For as Epictetus reminds us, the first and greatest task of the philosopher is to test and separate appearances, and to act on nothing that is untested. Wow, I love this one. It's so cool. This is just like totally the way I've been thinking a lot lately. I've always kind of thought this stuff too, where, our money in general, it's like, what makes this piece of paper worth $100? It's so odd, and I'm not going to get into all of it because I'm still confused with it, where it's like, it's based off of gold or what? I don't know, but it is funny because, we place so much value in money, and that's also where you hear about rich people, they're not truly wealthy because they're miserable still. And that's kind of like where I am. I like the money I'm making, but I could see myself not worrying about that as much in the future and wanting to just have something that makes me happy, even though I am happy, but I enjoy my life too, and I would enjoy some more time to myself and people I love. Another thing is like making those false assumptions, which we do that with money, but also when it talks about things not being tested and people just assuming something's true because so many people believe it. I think that's where the media gets a lot of people, because if you start paying attention and asking certain questions to people, you start realizing how much a lot of people don't know, even when it comes to basic history stuff. So a lot of these things that I'm seeing on the news and stuff, this is all stuff that has happened before, but a lot of people don't pay attention to that stuff. And it's quite amazing when you see these things happening and you're like, oh, I know exactly why they're doing this. Of course, there's still some mystery to things, but when you can have that understanding, it totally helps. Psst, get off there. Hey, cats. Sorry. So it's always good to look into history, not getting off the subject, but a lot of people, they call it sheeple. And I guess when you're woke, you realize more of what's really going on. And, the news will post a bunch of stories that aren't even true, but people won't research into it and they believe it. And all of a sudden you believe all this stuff, and it's insane. So we need to not do that. And also making assumptions on people, like how many times we've made an assumption about someone before really knowing them, and we have this opinion formed on them something that's not even true, and you end up noticing this person isn't even like that at all. This person is actually a good person. And we do this by appearances, you know. Look at racism. Look at all this stuff. We just judge someone by looking at them, looking at the clothes they wear, the color of their skin. And that's not who they are at all. And it's pretty funny, you know, even being from California, people will say that stuff to me like, oh, you're a California Democrat and all that. And you're like, just a quick assumption because of California. And that would be like when I was in California and came from Missouri, and people would be like, oh, you're a hick, you're a Missouri hick, oh, redneck. And I'm like, that's not me either, you know, we just make these assumptions. It's pretty funny. But I guess don't make these assumptions until we know it. Don't judge someone until we know it. Like when someone's gossiping about someone, don't automatically go, yeah, that person's gross, because how do you know? They didn't do anything to you yet. Or maybe they didn't even do anything to that person. I don't know. I'm also pretty tired. I've been up all night. But I hope you guys have a good Thursday. That's all I got. Thank you guys. See ya.